Alright, good afternoon everybody. I am back in Millcreek Canyon right now. This is the first time I've been here in 15 days. Last time of course was Easter, so it is May 2nd right now, and I'm going to see what else I can find. It's been a lot more time for the weather to warm up and for plants to come into bloom, so I think we can find a lot of really neat stuff now. This is definitely the time of year where we're going to see a lot of stuff come into bloom for the Wasatch, by the way. Like everything up until now, from mid-March to April, has just been a preview of what's to come, because there's really a lot of cool wildflowers I want to show, and other stuff as well, but it's just not warm enough for them until May, or really June actually, so we're going to be seeing a lot more cool stuff in my video soon. Well, just look at how green it is right here. Isn't this incredible? Man, the whole place is just so green and nice, except for the trees of course, but even they're starting to go into bud break now, which is very nice to see. But regardless, yeah, look how green it is. That's mostly a Hydrophyllum occidentale. I said in the previous video it was Hydrophyllum capitatum, but based upon the leaves and some of the flowers I saw on other plants, most of them aren't blooming of course right now, but some of the other ones I saw were indeed just coming into bloom. I gotta say it's almost certainly gonna be occidentale actually. Whatever, it's my bad. They're probably similar plants, but I should probably try a little better. But yeah, it's quite nice to see this all right now. Alright, so next up on the list, this plant right here with the feathery leaves. That is Achillea millefolium, also known quite commonly as Yarrow. It's a pretty common plant here, and a native one at that, which is really nice. It seems to be a strong competitor against invasive species. You can find it in like fields totally overrun with invasive weeds, and it is a member of the family Astragalus, the sunflower family. So although you can't see it blooming right now, later when it finally does, you'll see it has these very typical composite flower of the sunflower family, which is yeah, it's a feature of it. The flowers are white too. All around pretty cool plant, but also a bit common, so it's not that interesting, if you know what I mean. Alright, also I'll try to make this brief, but this is always a lovely treat to see. Merlot Spurge, that someone effed up, that wasn't me. Fantastic, love it. Anytime I see someone, or evidence that someone had clearly weeded an invasive plant, it is really one of my favorite things to see. Wow, it is just fantastic being able to be out here and to talk as loud as I want because no one's around. Hear the birds? Also, I want to point out this. That's Cornus sericea, red osier dogwood. I can just tell because it has the red stems are very distinct, and it grows in riparian areas, which this would be. It's a drainage ditch or seasonal river. Wow, what a great setting this is. Just found this cute clearing in the woods. You got some Artemisia, some herbaceous Artemisias. You got some Astragalus. And just a bunch of other plants that are always nice to see. Not a lot, but it's a really cute clearing. Well, I don't remember this tree trunk being over the trail the last time I was here. Seems it must have broken off quite recently. Nice white oak, or white fir it seems. Damn. It does look like the trunk is rotting a bit from the inside, so that's not a surprise, and it was attached to a dead tree as well. Dang. Well, right here we got a nice Physocarpus Malvasius growing up. It's a member of the rose family. It's just starting to leaf out, and it's got these kind of nice leaves. I like them a lot. It's a bit dark here and blurry, sorry. But that's the plant right there. You can see it. This is a pretty common Wasatch shrub. One of the most common, in fact, I would say. Also, just right here, there happens to be seems a small fungi just coming up. I didn't know if it even came up in the early spring at all. It's that kind of orange cup little thing. Seems there's another one right there that's actually bigger. Huh. I got no idea what it is, but it's pretty cool. Alright, so this right here is a pretty classic example of a sort of riparian habitat you'll find along the rivers, especially at the mid elevations. quite often a lot of flattened plants right after the snow just melts that are going to start to wake up slowly, and a bunch of big tangle of shrubs like this, you know, different types of willow, and some red dogwood, the Cornus sericea, which I talked about a little earlier. Very typical for this place, and as the seasons go on, you'll see quite a lot of change here. Hopefully get some wildflowers, and eventually it'll all be in leaf, and it'll be a lot harder to see the big tangle of stems you can see right there. Wow. It is simply incomprehensible that someone can't like the outdoors, especially when you get days like this. Look at this. It's a wonderful place. I apologize for visiting this canyon so much, but it really is just an awesome place with a lot of good hikes you can do early in the year. Anyway, speaking of different types of habitat, this is a solid example of a mountain brush, which I talked about earlier, except it gets more rain here and there's more, it's cool temperatures, so the trees get a bit taller. It's still lacking most of the conifers you'll find in the other parts of the mountain brush habitat, like on the Wasatch Front, was where I previously talked about it. Because it will be quite dry in the summer, which is a pretty important characteristic of it, and it's got the same gamble oak, acer, grandidentatum kind of thing going on, which I talked about previously. Speaking of common shrubs in the Wasatch, this is either Symphoricarpos rotundifolius or Symphoricarpos aureophilus. There is some debate as to whether or not those two are even separate species, but regardless, I can't exactly tell which one this is, although I'd maybe lean towards rotundifolius. But anyways, it's a member of the family Caprifoliaceae, the snowberries, which is the common name for this genus, and they got opposite leaves, as you can see, and branches. That's one of the features that's really common to the family, and it produces these very typical honeysuckle type of flowers. In fact, when I first saw this plant, I assumed it was a honeysuckle. It is in fact not a honeysuckle, but it's quite closely related for sure. The true honeysuckle genus being Lonicera. There is a few species in this mountain, or at least one. I'll try and find it later in the year, but for now this is what we have to enjoy, and it's a pretty nice plant, so I think that's just fine. Now that's a nice example of the plant I was talking about there, the Symphoricarpos. Good specimen, I think. But anyways, I might be out of time right now. I don't know what else I'm going to find on the trail here, so I'm going to cut everything short and just say, see ya. One other thing I guess I can show you is this whole hillside now is covered with Lomatium dissectum, which I do like. Good sight to see. They're doing really well right now. If I go back around, you'll probably find more of the same. See, more right here. Yep, even more of them now. Nice carrot family member. They do like to live all throughout the forest like this, in the underbrush, amongst trees.